Evening, everybody. How you guys doing?
What's up, peoples?
Welcome to episode 107 of the F and Marks podcast. I'm Jay,
And I'm Brainless Bob.
and we're rolling right after Survivor Series and NXT Takeover.
Yeah, and we had Thanksgiving on Thursday,
Booyah!
and a very eventful weekend. So
Yeah, lots to get to, and yeah,
absolutely. So
Yeah.
let's get it.
I've always heard about the power of Colt 45.
I figured that
But I was never sure exactly what
tonight
that
was
meant.
not your
So I
night
guess
for Colt
I
45,
found out
baby.
myself.
So yeah, how's everybody out
How
there?
you doing? You free tonight?
Works every time, baby, because he's Billy D. motherfucking Williams, and we fucking love him for it.
It works every time.
You know what else we're brought to by? Bootios.
They make sure.
You ain't booty, so
Don't forget, we need to mention that it is F and Marks Hall of Famer Billy D. Williams.
he's a goat.
I mean, now that our class is an astonishing 3, we have Billy D. Williams. We also have the man, the myth, the legend, Curtis Axel. And if, in case you missed last week's episode, we did announce our 3rd inductee into the F and Marks Podcast Hall of Fame. It should be WWE Hall of Famer, and it's a travesty that motherfucker is not in.
Sad.
The Mastodon, Big Van Vader, is the 3rd member of the F and Marks Podcast Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Next week we'll have our 4th member announced.
Yes.
I think we're going to do something kind of like what the WWE did. I mean, we're not going to do like a celebrity wing, but I think we're going to have, at some point, one of the inductees will be a follower. Will be
Right.
excuse me, inducted into the
I'll
Hall
drink
of Fame.
for you.
That's fine. I can always take a swig of Pepsi.
Right.
But anyway,
For the working man.
yeah. But anyway, so let's get into business.
Yeah, lots of stuff, happened between last week and this week.
And I'll tell you, I mean, there was a lot of stuff I could have put on the board, so I kind of just like.
And put the bullet points, and we'll scatterbrain from there, baby.
I'm always scatterbrained, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this week on the F and Marks podcast, on the whiteboard of Wondertude, we will be doing our good, the bad, and the brainless. Oh boy!
Boom. The fucking brainless, man. The fucking brainless.
Fucking wait for this.
Yes.
And my brainless isn't even. I don't even. No, I'm not gonna give it away. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
All right.
And even though I'm not drinking, I'm probably gonna fucking lose my shit anyway.
Good.
I got some.
Sweet. Ooh. Doty Brown Snow in the house.
What's up, Nicholas?
How you doing, man? Hope things are better for you right now, man.
Yeah, we're with you, buddy. Everything,
As Bob Marley said.
Thank you. Bob Marley once said, "Don't you worry
By the
about
thing.
a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be all right."
What did I tell you about singing? You're terrible.
Fuck you. And I'm not even drinking, and I'm telling you to
Right.
go tuck yourself in. Also, we're going to be talking about NXT War Games, the results.
Yeah.
Pretty solid show.
Yeah.
I
I'll say.
I undersold that one, didn't I?
A little bit.
I'm trying to
Booyah.
not to give away any extra details that I shouldn't.
Mm.
Also, we're going to be doing the Survivor Series results.
Yes.
Wish I could say the same thing about them as I did about.
See, I was fine with Survivor Series. I know you didn't like it so much, but it's fine.
It was, And finally, we have a lot of news and notes.
What's up, Tommy? Yeah.
What's up, Tommy? So we can. I guess we could just start with that. I love the fact that I always start with the bottom of the list and work my way up.
Mm.
A lot of times.
Bury the lead.
So let's get to the news and notes.
Honestly, to me, the biggest thing that happened, like wrestling news announcements wise this week, UK Takeover.
Ooh.
WWE NXT UK Takeover, and that's going to be in January. So the UK NXT brand, like if you haven't had a chance to check out on the WWE network, the WWE NXT UK stuff, do it. It's a good, fun show. It's worth your while. It's a short show, but like just a different style of wrestling and, a little less of the BS that we see on Monday Night Raw.
We get the goat Pete Dunne on there too.
Yeah.
So I mean that's worth it in its own right. But I mean you get stars like Rhea Ripley and Dakota Kai, and
Tony Storm.
Tony Storm, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, Wolfgang Puck.
Yeah.
You know, a whole bunch of people.
Mustache Mountain. Yes.
Danny Burch.
Yes.
I'm not going to keep going on.
But I mean, they have a great roster of guys, and I mean, the thing I like about their style of wrestling is it just looks very. I mean, it's physical, and I dig that. I love when it looks, legit.
Also, there was something else I wanted to bring up this week that was worth noting, worthy news. I don't like me looking at my phone, but I had to pull up this article because I did want to discuss this because a lot of people, because of the fact that
I think I know what you're going
to
talk about.
A lot of people had asked me my opinion of what I thought about this, and obviously, there's nothing in this world I love more than giving away my opinion.
Right.
There was this week at a show in Mexico that a wrestler was hospitalized after his opponent threw a concrete block at his head. And I'm going to read a little bit into this so we can give a little...
Demonio. That was the name of the piece of shit.
A match in Mexico ended in a scary way on Monday after one wrestler threw a concrete block at the head of his opponent who was then hospitalized. The match between Angel O Domenio and Cuervo occurred just outside of Mexico City and was promoted by Lucha Meme/Lucha Boom. As seen in the video below, and if you haven't seen the video, I could always...
We could link it on our Twitters and on our Facebooks and on our I could put it in the YouTube discussion. So
Demonio grabs a concrete block from the backstage area after being hit with multiple chair shots, and then returns to the ring to throw it at his opponent from behind above. Cuervo had no idea it was coming and got knocked unconscious. A doctor then called off the match and helped Cuervo to the back when he came to. We're told an ambulance was called and he was taken to the hospital. Domenio did apologize for Cuervo not being able to finish the match. He also went on Facebook to say he didn't appreciate the multiple chair shots being doled out beforehand, but claims he wasn't aiming to hit Cuervo in the head with this concrete block. So with that being what the situation was with that, I did want to definitely touch base on this. Look, I understand this is sports entertainment, is WWE.
And it was a death match.
And it was in a Mexican death match that they had in Mexico. And I understand that, the chair shots and, kendo sticks. And
you get a little pissed off and you're like, I got to give this fucking dude a receipt for fucking beating the shit out of me.
I've never in my entire life gotten pissed off to a point where I wanted to throw a cinder block at somebody's head for anything that they've done.
I don't care if it was unintentional. He said he was aiming for his back. Don't throw a fucking cinder block.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And in the video, you will see the fact that he does hit the dude in the head and he dropped and just like...
Pool of blood.
Yeah, it's a pool of blood.
Fucking A, man.
Luckily for Domenico or Dominion or Old Dominion or whatever the fuck his name is...
the guy didn't die.
He's lucky that the guy didn't die because he would have had
He's getting charged with attempted murder, I heard.
He could have gotten involuntary manslaughter.
Mm-hmm.
So he should be very fortunate that that's the worst of what had happened. Obviously, Cuervo, we do hope for a speedy recovery with you, and we're very happy that you survived.
Fucking A,
and
man.
will be in our thoughts and prayers as you recover from such a horrific incident.
I don't care how much a dude stiffs you during the match. If he stiffs you, all right, he stiffs you with a chair, get a chair and fucking hit him back. I mean, as much as it drives me, I'm not going to say drives me crazy, but like when you see a match and you see dudes absolutely going to town on like one wrestler with a chair, you know that they've set up within the match that the other wrestler will get a chair and then hit them just so, nobody can get taken advantage of.
Right.
If this dude was stiffing him with the chair shots, hit him fucking back with a chair, not a fucking cinder block. What the fuck?
Even if you grab like a
that dude should never work again in professional wrestling. He's been suspended indefinitely by the promotion. He should be blacklisted by any promotion out there. I mean, I know the guy is, I think he's like 54, I think, but fucking hey, man, you guys are out there to entertain the crowd in like, it's not fucking ballet, but fuck, man.
Yeah. I love the fact that we always compare professional wrestling to ballet. Like of all
it's
the
not fucking ballet.
I know it's not ballet, but it's also not like fucking It's not like a puppet
It's
show
not
either.
chess.
It's not chess. It's not fucking badminton.
It's not tiddlywinks.
It's not fucking
Yeah.
cricket.
It's not shuffleboard.
Yes. But obviously, it's an unfortunate situation that has occurred. And I really don't think that being blacklisted is going to be anything we're going to have to worry about because I think he's going to be doing some
Nobody's
serious
going
time.
to...
Well, he's going to be doing some serious time. And by the time he gets out, nobody's going to want to hire like a guy in his mid to late 60s or even 70s who has a rap sheet because of the fact that he almost killed an opponent with a cinder block.
I don't know. Bruiser Brody got killed and nothing happened to the person that did that. Although that was behind closed doors, I guess. So, and Tony Atlas didn't want to speak because he didn't want to get himself killed.
Understood.
So anyway, I'm just gonna say it right now. That's my fucking brainless for the week. Are you fucking kidding me? Throwing a fucking cinder block at a fucking human being. What the fuck is your fucking problem?
Let's get some more fucks in there. Fuck!
It's fucking retarded,
It's
dude.
retarded, dude.
My God.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, that's like one of the worst things I've ever seen. I mean, this is not quite to the level of New Jack stabbing that guy 7 times in a match, but
Gypsy Joe.
it's fucking close. New Jack's another freaking dude. My God.
He's a lunatic, and I'm not talking about like Dean Ambrose.
No, he's got some issues.
Yes. Also, I think we discussed a little bit about how Alexa Bliss is out of commission. There's been talk that this whole Baron Corbin thing, it's going to lead to a match, which we will get into because there was some other news that was WWE related that I'd like to get into as well.
Speaking of Baron Corbin, last night we had a return.
That's where I was going to go to. But go ahead.
No, I was going to say.
Go ahead.
I mean, you brought up Baron Corbin, so
Right.
Baron Corbin actually went against Bray Wyatt last night. The Eater of Worlds made his return to the ring, and he went against Baron Corbin because Corbin put out an open challenge, and hopefully they have something for him because apparently they've kept him off TV because they couldn't figure out what the hell to do with him. I mean, the Hardy story, the storyline that they had with him and Hardy as tag champs, I mean, ended prematurely just because, I mean, Matt Hardy, it's pretty certain that he's like, I'm not going to say retired, like where he's never going to wrestle again, but he's retired from, being a full-time performer.
Yes.
He just can't do it anymore. So that, I think, kind of fucked over Bray because I think that thing was supposed to go on for another bit.
Yeah.
And I think it was supposed to be eventually Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt again. And
Which we might
on the Hardy compound, but
which we might get again.
you never know. You never know. But
Also, there's been talks because of this whole Braun Strowman this week had surgery on his elbow. The talk is they don't know how long it's going to be. He's going to be out of action because of the surgery he had. They kind of kayfabe took him off of storylines on
saying
Monday.
his elbow was shattered.
Saying his elbow was shattered due to the Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley new stable, which we're going to get into when we discuss Survivor Series.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be, because everybody knows the stipulations, but we'll get into that as well. That's what ended up ultimately leading to Baron Corbin challenging anybody and Bray Wyatt accepting because of the fact that he was supposed to fight Strowman, and Strowman was injured, and we'll see what happens. There's
but legit injury. Strowman had bone spurs, and they're saying, I think they said up to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So I think they're hopeful for Survivor
Series, huh?
Royal Rumble.
Have another one, Cousin Jay. But yeah, let's. That was also of newsworthy worth.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else that we need to discuss that we haven't touched base with on news wise.
I mean, stuff like outside of WWE. So apparently Cody Rhodes defended his title in a stare-off
Against
Joey Ryan. Cody's been nursing a knee injury, and he's actually been talking about how he's going to be a free agent coming up soon. He's going to actually wrestle the matches that he has before getting surgery. Supposedly he has a torn meniscus. So he's putting off the surgery as long as he can to do the bookings that he has, but he says he is going to wrestle Jackie Bradley Jr. At Ring of Honor, and then he is going to win that title, and he's going to take it with him into free agency, which I think storyline wise that could be cool. It'd be, obviously they're not going to let him do that, but if they could at least storyline wise, oh, he doesn't have a contract and he's taking it into
kind of like what CM Punk did.
They should have left Punk off TV for more than a week and a half.
Right.
They should have let that thing go on for like 6 months and then had like a match at, the Royal Rumble. And they fucked that up. The thing I appreciate with the indies is sometimes, well, I don't know if Ring of Honor is technically an indie these days, but either way, I like the fact that sometimes they will actually play these things out and, let us be in pretend land the whole time.
Right. I agree.
So I'd love if Cody wins this thing and acts like he's a free agent and just starts wrestling in random places.
Agreed. I 100% agree with that.
So,
I think we hit all the bases on.
So that's kind of most of the outside news and notes, but there was a lot of kind of noteworthy things that happened at Survivor Series and NXT TakeOver that are leading forward.
So let's get into NXT TakeOver.
Yeah. Another great freaking show. Like, do they ever fuck up NXT TakeOvers? How does the main roster fuck up so many pay-per-views, but TakeOver, I know they only do them once a quarter, once every 3 months, but how do their wrestlers just manage to always have good matches when we end up having shit like half the time on the main shows?
I think number one, it has to do with time, because obviously they put in 5 matches in 2.5 hours, whereas WWE, like for instance for Survivor Series, in less than 4 hours they had like 8 or 9 matches.
Yeah.
So that I think for Survivor Series they had 6.
Well, what they did is they had the 6 matches between the competing brands in the pre-show match.
In the Cruiserweight match,
right.
The 205 Live.
So,
but again, NXT was kind of going out there promoting that they were going to have 4 matches for NXT TakeOver. Surprise, surprise!
They had one of the greatest matches of all time.
I'm just going to say this.
This dude fucking
an absolute
popped.
Fucking pleasure, and it was a nice treat. And I laughed my ass off as the King of Bros, Matt Riddle, came out. And
I can't wait until that dude
TakeOver was amazing. I agree with you. Don't need the Brown Snow. TakeOver was amazing.
If he gets to go against Zack Ryder at some point, or even if they just have a bro-off.
Bro down?
Yeah.
I like you, bro. I respect you, bro. I respect you too, bro. Come at me, bro. Sorry, South Park reference. Matt Riddle came out and he was talking. He was like, I should, I'm going to be having my debut at NXT, at a regular NXT thing. And then, and he was like, oh, maybe I can have my match tonight. And then Captain Fat Fuck comes out and
Captain Buffet.
We got to come up with a nickname for him.
Yeah,
now that Big Cass is Big Casserole and Kevin Owens is Captain Cupcake, obviously.
What's happening?
We have to come up with something with Captain Cash.
Thanks for tuning in.
Castrozono. Like, we can call him Captain... I'll think of something.
We'll get something.
We'll get some ideas, and what we'll do is we'll go to...
If anybody has any ideas, feel free to bring them forward. We'll write them down,
and then we'll do like
maybe Guillermo could have a damn poll.
We'll do a poll, and we will determine what will be the new nickname for Castrozono.
Yes.
Captain Buffet, Captain Fat Fuck, Captain Jelly Rolls, something like that.
Cassius, oh no, there's no food left.
I don't think that's going to fit in the poll.
No, okay.
But anyway, everything about that was just fantastic. Cassius Ohno coming out and getting all pissed off about Matt Riddle being in the ring and talking all this shit. And he's like, I'll fight you right now. I was like, okay, that's what it is. And then Cassius Ohno attempted to get into the ring. I've never seen a human being in all 30 years that I've been watching professional wrestling, I've never seen a human being get stuck between the bottom rope and the mat on his way to the ring. He literally got stuck. How the fuck did he get stuck? I mean, he basically Vince Mealed himself to a point where he looks like Vince Neil with the fucking Batman T-shirt on, and then he got in the ring and he took off his shirt. No, he didn't. Did he?
No.
He didn't.
Eventually, he revealed that he had his Sacramento Kings jersey on.
Yeah,
I think.
and he got in the ring, and after he kind of like fucked that up, and then rang the bell, and Matt Riddle came in, kicked him, or kneed him in the fucking face, and fucking Cassius Ohno fell down faster than the I'm falling and I can't get up lady.
So one thing I noticed, and Cassius Ohno got his hair cut. I'm guessing he did that just so his weight didn't look like it changed. I mean, because he probably gained like 10 pounds, so he was like, I'll cut off 10 pounds of
You know
hair.
what's funny? I actually was looking at some pictures of Cassius Ohno in his first run with WWE, and I'm like, he's a little chunky, and I understand what they were saying where he could have been part of NXT, but I'm like, what? He didn't look too fat. Now he just looks like Santa Claus, right before he went, like
Before
Santa
he goes
Claus.
gray.
Yeah, before he goes gray. That's exactly what Cassius Ohno looks like.
You know what? At this point, he should go full on, and he should be like the one-man gang.
I mean, straight up, the dude got squashed by Matt Riddle. I lost my fucking mind.
What's up, Zen Phoenix?
It was fantastic. In fact, not to disrespect the entire card, because I was going to make NXT TakeOver my good for this week, but my God, that fucking shit was the good. And I'll tell you why. And the only reason I say that it was my good over everything else on that card was because it was the only match the entire weekend, let alone the card, where I actually rewound and watched again. And I laughed just as hard the second time as I did the first time.
We could have probably watched it 20 times.
So Matt Riddle, congratulations. You have finally made your mark here on the F and Marks podcast.
Yeah.
As you have officially Sheamused frickin' Cassius Ohno this week. Or last week, I should say.
Right. Well,
Is that Zen Phoenix?
it is Zen Phoenix.
What's up, Zen Phoenix?
Zen Phoenix, I think Cassius Ohno would be used better if he took his non-buffet training a little bit better.
Maybe instead of just getting a Diet Coke with your 16 double quarter pounders with cheese and 9 fries, maybe you should just, if you feel the need to have
get like 6
burgers,
burritos instead
if you
from
feel,
Taco
if you feel
Bell.
the need to get 16 burgers, maybe just get single quarter pounders instead of double quarter pounders.
Yeah.
And maybe get like 1 less fry. Maybe just get like 9 mediums instead of 9 large. And I'm sure you were the person in the world who threw the biggest shit fit when they got rid of the supersized fries. And you were probably like, what the fuck? You think I got supersized like this by eating medium fries? I didn't think so.
Yeah. We have not watched Starrcade.
Is that on the network?
I don't know if it's on the network. We should check if it's on the network.
We
But
shall check. I don't think my eyelids are going to stay open very long this day, but that's okay.
Brainless One.
I had a very long, tiring
couple of days,
weekend.
Man.
And I'm really feeling the effects right now, and I'm just...
Booyah, man.
I mean, I felt the effects. I basically felt the effects this morning.
Oh, 1 hour version tonight.
Oh, nice.
We'll have to check it out.
I'm just fucking tired.
Mm.
I don't have my A game today. I'm doing a hell of a job at just...
One more for the good guys.
Just keeping with the pace and everything, and I'm just trying to give you guys a solid show.
Hey, the brainless one's been up to having a good time, and we'll keep it at that.
I think that's the what we'll keep it at.
So you've got that for your good. That's great.
No, that's good. That's why.
That's great. That's great.
It's wonderful.
Wonderful. No, I absolutely loved this match. It was great.
I love the fact that they already know.
They do already know.
I'm surprised they're not going to hit him because there was a guy that I used to work with at England's at my first job down in Virginia, and we used to, every time anybody would ever talk about a girl, he'd be like, "Ooh, who is she? She got a sister. What's her name? She got a sister. She got any pictures? Want to buy some? Hey.
Right. Am I right?
Right. So.
Yeah.
So I mean, they know.
Her name is Mrs. X.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
This is just like when I did the podcast. I was stoned out of my mind, and everybody knew that I was high on marijuana. And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm high on marijuana. And I remember it was Don't Eat the Brown Snow. I was like, yeah, we know.
or the time when you had the there you go, Mrs. Brainless. That's great. Yeah.
I want to go that.
So we're asked about our thoughts on Raw. Our thoughts on Raw are about the same as they are most weeks. Shit show. That couple of like moments that were good, but for the most part, it just not good. Not good.
I'm impressed with Ronda Rousey. I like the fact
She
that
has gotten so much better on the microphone from back when she first signed and was doing the stuff at the beginning of the year. So much better. And she's working supposedly with Heyman a lot with this stuff to, bring her to the next level.
And if you are going to work with somebody to bring you to the next level, he is one of the perfect people to have. Obviously, the greatest person you could have had is no longer with us.
The GOAT.
Heyman. But, I mean, if you are going to learn from somebody in the more modern version of WWE, then yes, Paul Heyman is a fantastic person because not too many people can master the mic as well as Paul Heyman has done throughout his entire career. Even when he was Paul E. Dangerously back in his
the only time that he did not master the whole audience was when we had the Black Scorpion doing magic tricks during Clash 13.
You got to give
Paul Heyman, Paul E. Dangerously and Jim Ross did their damnedest to put that damn thing over.
That's why Jim Ross is a Hall of Famer and Paul Heyman will also be a Hall of Famer because any human beings that could actually get that to be good is just, they deserve it.
Dude, Sean O just freaking Iron Sheiked us.
What did he say? Was he going to break
our back? He has all sorts of great quotes there.
He's going to break our back. Put us in the
fuck that man, Joe Noah Fakata. It's great. It's very Iron Sheik. I love it, Sean O. How you doing, man?
Joanna and fuck the Survivor Series motherfucker. The Ronda Rousey is sexy, intelligent, Jewish, and she fucked the New York Giant motherfucker as he puts me in the camel clutch and breaks my back and makes me humble.
Yes.
I know the fucking Sheik. It's Sheiky, baby.
Yes.
Number one, we're still waiting for him to arrive at WrestleMania 38.
Hey, only 3.5 short years away.
Yeah.
Booyah.
I hope they really do bring him out for WrestleMania 38. That would be the ultimate.
You would mark out more than anything else.
That would probably be the mark out moment of my life, even more so than the Red Sox winning in 2004.
Right.
Although it would have been even better if Heenan was there.
So, anybody tuning in for the first time, if you have not liked us on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, or Periscope, make sure you like us at the FN Marks, and we will like you or follow you back. Yeah. So, you know what? The NWO, I think, is going to be making some appearances soon. I don't know what they're going to be there for, but I think they've got some sort of thing going with WWE that they are going to do something for the NWO, and that would be kind of cool. So
I can't even right now. That's not fair.
Right?
Information is going to make me laugh at every single thing that's on the thing.
Oh. Don't eat the brown snow.
I saw it. I know.
You got to make it happen.
I know.
You said you were going to make it happen.
Yes.
You need to make it happen.
Yes. I'm fixing my financial situation so I can get these T-shirts made and sent out to everybody.
Yes.
I'm working towards that. I had a very, very.
Sounds like somebody needs to do some lift driving.
Yeah.
Booyah.
I was lifting something else yesterday, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Giggity, goo.
Does this smell like chloroform?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fucking love it, man. So, anyway, Matt Riddle, Cassius Ohno, the Battle of the Buffet. Matt Riddle comes out on top. I love this match. This was like the perfect start. This was The Rock, Hogan, and Stone Cold in the ring at the same time. It was great.
You know what they like to say, and it's a term that I like to use, and if I was a wrestling promoter, I would actually, I would do the exact same thing. That was the prime definition of setting the tone early.
Right.
That's exactly what they did with NXT TakeOver War Games. They set the tone early. Nobody thought this match was going to happen. It happened. Cassius Ohno needing, some grease or some melted butter to fit his fat ass.
Well,
between the bottom rope
he
and the
probably
fucking-
talked to Triple H or Shawn Michaels ahead of time and said, "Hey, can you make this match like 10 seconds? Because I'm kind of hungry." So
What happened was the reason
I appreciate the fact that he would go forward to Triple H and Shawn Michaels for something that he so deeply believes in. So I think that's fantastic. Yeah.
What does it say? Brutal burrito?
Ooh, the brutal burrito.
Okay, that's gonna be up for nomination for a name. The brutal burrito. I'm still kind of hung up on him being the Hamburglar, but
I mean,
he was wearing purple at Takeover, so he could be Grimace. No, I'm not gonna do that. No, we're not gonna steal. I want something original. I don't want to steal like the Hamburglar or Grimace or Barney the Purple Dinosaur. Or,
yeah, the Buffet Avenger. I don't know.
Captain Chopsticks.
I mean, we already have Captain Cupcake. We have to come up with something fun.
Colonel Cheesecake.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Instead of the Star Lord, the Buffet Lord.
Yeah.
Burrito Lord. Taquito Lord.
Sergeant Sizzler. the Golden Corraller. Buffet Man 2000. I could go all night. That's the worst part. I could probably dedicate this entire episode, the rest of this podcast. We could say fuck Survivor Series and NXT TakeOver, and I can just come up with like retarded names to come up with for Cassius Ohno.
Well,
I'm
was he Sergeant of?
Sergeant Sizzler. And in case you all don't know, I don't know how old you are. Back in the day, there used to be a buffet place called the Sizzler, and it was an all-you-can-eat buffet, but you could also get like regular dishes and everything. And basically, it's like Golden Corral, just better. Where you would go up there and they would give you a tray and a fucking you just get the cup of soda and the people would come around and refill your sodas and everything. I love the Sizzler. The Sizzler was the best. True story. We took my.
You know who else liked the Sizzler? The dude who Shooter McGavin hired to fuck
thanks.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Hey, Shooter, you want to
Gilmore? You suck, you jackass. What?
Hey, Shooter, you want to go to the Sizzler?
He's mad. Hey. Want to go to Red Lobster? My treat.
Hey, let's go and get some grub.
That fucking dude. That was. Oh fuck.
Instead of punching you, he punched Bob Barker.
I am going to dedicate a couple of minutes to some more like retarded names for Cash, just because you know what? He could be the Krispy Kremer. America and Cassius Ohno run on Duncan. That's not really a nickname. That's just like a slogan. The Kit Kat Caper. I'm sorry. You were drinking your beer. I apologize for that. We don't need you spewing that shit all over the place.
I almost did that the other... Well, I did do that the other day with El Jefe, except for I put my hand up in time.
Let's see. Corporal Cream Pie.
Dr. Denny's.
Dr. Denny's. Oh shit, that's fucking good. I like that one. That was fucking good, man. Oh shit. I need a minute. Hold on.
Can you top Dr. Denny?
I'm trying to. Inspector IHOP. Let's see. I'm trying to think of something with Waffle House. I don't know what begins with W that would work. Dr. Denny's. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. That's the leader going into the clubhouse. That's gonna be like the first choice on the poll. Dr. Denny's. I like that one. That one was really. You know what? Don't eat the brown snow. I mean,
that's fantastic.
You might have put yourself on a list to be a two-time follower of the year for that one. That one, yes. That you might have secured my vote just on that answer right there. Yes, that was fantastic.
Mm.
The Waffle House Wrangler. Lieutenant Lay's. The cookie crumbler. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Oh God, I can't beat Dr. Denny's. God damn it. The Panda Expresser.
Oh, if only Pablo Sandoval was a wrestler.
Oh God, no.
The Panda Express would be
The
great.
Panda Express, yes. So anyway, thank you. Actually, thank you very much that Need the Brown Snow. That was fantastic. I needed that one. I needed that one. I mean, you've broken Jag, which says a lot. I'm starting to question how drunk he really is right now because he's losing his fucking mind.
I mean, I did have a 32-ounce Corona like a couple hours before the show.
Yes. I got drunk off of watching the Giants lose again. And my favorite part was it's gonna
To
be
the Eagles?
Yeah, to the Eagles.
To the Eagles.
It was like here's the tricky stuff, and it was like the guy did the fucking. As soon as fucking what's his face said it, as soon as Spielman said it, he fucking tossed the ball.
The Jedi of jelly.
Oh, the Waffle House Wookiee's actually better. Lord of the Onion Rings. That's definitely going to be on the poll, too. Lord of the Onion Rings and Dr. Denny's is going to be on the list. There's going to be like 19 choices. And Cassius Ono is going to fucking block us. Like what the people at the all-you-can-eat buffet do to him when they see him walk through the door. He's going to block us. I mean, to be brutally honest, though, he is like a jelly donut away from being a left guard in the National Football League.
Yes. Waffle House.
I mean, if he falls off the top rope and fucking hits the fucking outside pavement, that's a 4.7 on the Richter scale.
I mean, the ropes held Braun Strowman, but so like one of the things I checked out on the network where like Dolph Ziggler was talking about how they more or less like said, "Oh, you got to do this," and like kind of ribbed Braun Strowman into going off the top rope for the Super Showdown in Australia, and they're like, it looked terrible, but they just wanted to fuck with him. Waffle House Wookie.
DJ Donut.
Jedi of Jelly.
Jedi Jelly's good.
I mean, oh man. So many good ones.
So
So
back
many
to
good.
TakeOver. The one match that I really wasn't. Oh, there's one more. I think. What do we got?
Sergeant Pizza Rolls.
Not bad. I like that one. It's still not better than Dr. Denny's.
Dr. Denny's.
I don't think
like next level.
I really don't think anybody could actually top Dr. Denny's right now. Don't eat the Browns. I really don't think. I mean, that was just. I mean, you almost killed Jay. I peed myself a little bit, kind of like Drake Maverick at Survivor Series.
Yes. Thanks, Vince
That was
McMahon.
fantastic. That was fantastic. I hope that one wins. I really do. I might not even put it in the poll. I might just make that his new nickname. He could be just Dr. Denny's. But we'll still do the poll because I said I was going to do the poll.
We'll do the poll.
We'll do the poll live.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
The only match about TakeOver I didn't like was the Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane match, the 2 out of 3 falls.
There was a lot of fuckery going
There was
on
a lot
in
of
this match.
fuckery going around in this match. The falls seemed to go really quick.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Not last night.
That's not what she said last night. But
Yeah.
um,
Mrs. Brainless. Yes.
I wanna go that way. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that
Yeah.
The other members of the Horsewomen came out and were getting
But
involved again.
there wasn't much help for Kairi Sane there. I mean, she had
Dakota Kai came out, and then Io Shirai came out.
Who has the greatest moonsault in the world.
That was a fantastic moonsault.
She does.
She's got a fucking fantastic moonsault. And Kairi Sane, yes, I know she does have a fantastic ass too, Jay. I'm well aware of the fact she has a fantastic ass. But Kairi Sane has a fantastic elbow. Like, she somehow looks like she goes up before she goes down and delivers the elbow. And the elbow looks fucking devastating.
Well, and then when she, like, delivered it on, like, all the people outside the ring, that was a cool looking visual. So I dug that.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
That was my only thing I didn't like. I had a feeling that Shayna Baszler was going to win. I'm pretty sure I predicted her to win.
Let's check it out.
Yes, let's check it out. I'm just going to have to get that soundbite of Dan Libertad just going, yes.
Yeah, both of us had Shayna Baszler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody go perfect? I mean, obviously.
No, we didn't. Like, there were, like... So, you got that correct. You got that correct. I got that correct.
Oh, the brainless one actually had a better NXT takeover.
You did?
Because I went 3 out of 4, and I got to see Cassius Ohno.
Hey, wait.
Dr. Denny's. I got to see Dr. Denny's freaking just get stuck between the rope and the fucking ring apron. It was just so bad. Oh my god! It was almost to the magnitude of fucking Titus O'Neil at the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Right.
Because nobody brought it up that he got stuck because him getting stuck under the rope actually lasted longer than the match itself.
Honestly, the dude looks like a pig in a blanket.
He's a pig in a blanket.
It's not a better name than Dr. Denny's. Pig in a blanket. That's what he looks like.
Yeah,
even though he's wearing what's supposed to be a loose-fitting NBA jersey, it's form-fitting.
It doesn't fit him very formably.
And somehow he ends up with good-looking women. Supposedly he's like Mensa smart. He's just not.
I'm sure he remembers every recipe to every fucking dish ever made in his brain.
Dude, moon's over my hammy. Dr. Denny's and moon's over my hammy.
I'm also convinced that he masturbates to the Food Network. Like, the highlight of his year is the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
So July 4th is like the greatest day of his life. Joey Chestnut is his hero.
His hero, yes.
Chris Hero
Hero's hero is Joey Chestnut.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, Shayna Baszler did go over on Kairi Sane.
Yes.
Dakota Kai did get involved. So did Io Shirai to help even the odds of the remaining members of the Horsewomen. Little known fact: there's been a lot of high praise for Jessamine Duke, as she is trying to get through the Performance Center to make it to NXT as an in-ring competitor, and they're very high on her. I actually read that. I was actually going to bring that up at some point. I'm kind of glad because this is a hell of a segue for that.
Booyah.
I'd like to.
You're a professional.
I am a professional. Professional brainless one.
Yes.
I have the brain capacity of a fucking empty paper bag, but it's okay. Every once in a while, I come up with something smart. Speaking of smart.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I am a Mark. Speaking of smart, we did have, not really smart, but Johnny Gargano pissing off Aleister Black led to them having their match at NXT TakeOver. A fucking another good God match.
Yes.
Fantastic. I was fully vested in that. I'm a huge Aleister Black fan, mainly because of the fact that he's really good in the ring, but also because of the fact that he's got Zelina Vega. And there's been like a couple of pictures floating around of Aleister Black with Zelina Vega that
they did the kickboxing thing.
Yeah, they did the kickboxing thing, and it's like, all right, now people are starting to realize that those two are bumping the uglies.
She's getting the black mass, all right.
Yeah, she's got the black mass.
Yes.
But yeah, an awesome match between Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano. I didn't expect anything differently between the two of them because they are two of the better in-ring performers in NXT and all of WWE for that matter. Kudos
They told
to
a
them.
good story.
They told a good story. I'm interested to see what happens with this Johnny Gargano heel turn. I know at first I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I am getting a little bit more interested in it. I love the fact that Candice LeRae is part of the storyline, and she had an
She's going to emo.
and she had an altercation, a verbal altercation with Aleister Black backstage at NXT this week. Obviously, the NXT show this week is just kind of like a couple of filler matches, and then the rest is like, oh, this is what happened at NXT Takeover.
That's always been my criticism of like the post takeover shows.
Mm-hmm.
It is like it doesn't do anything for storyline, and they want to get the talent in front of the big crowds, but literally this will take up 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
After takeover has happened, and no storylines have been furthered, and it, for me, kind of kills a little bit of the momentum. But
I'd rather have that though
than what we get every week on Monday.
No, what we get after pay-per-views, like for Survivor Series, where it's like, oh my God, we had this match at Survivor Series, so let's give it to everybody again on free television on USA for Monday Night Raw. It's like, yeah, we just had, the women's match at Survivor Series, and let's give it to them again. We had the Riot Squad, the last pay-per-view before Survivor Series, we had the Riot Squad versus Natty, Sasha, and Bayley, and it's like, all right, the next time let's do it again.
Yeah.
And it seems to happen a lot more on Raw than it does on SmackDown.
3 hours.
Yeah.
They got 3 hours to fill, and instead of deciding that, like, maybe we should showcase other talent and see if the audience likes them.
Mm-hmm.
No, let's give them more of the same.
Right.
See if they like that. Stupid. Terrible.
It's WWE booking at its finest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right. Then we, Gargano and Black, really good match, really solid match. I love the double black mass at the end.
Mm-hmm.
To finish him off, and really cool match, really good match, and I don't know, this feels like it should be the end of their rivalry, but we'll see where it goes.
I think this is going to ultimately lead to Aleister Black getting his rematch for the title that he had again there.
And
The next match,
Velveteen Dream versus Tommaso Ciampa, and
my God, the Dream. That's all I'm going to say is the Dream.
he is very good at trolling Hulk Hogan. After, like, Hogan at one point this year tweeted about, like, how he kind of wanted to manage Velveteen Dream, and more or less Velveteen Dream is like, Dream don't need anybody. Dream does fine on his own, and came out and did, like, the Hulk Hogan thing, like the red and gold one time, and then they were in they're in LA, so he was Hollywood Hogan this week.
Fantastic.
And great outfit, and beyond the outfit, fucking outstanding performance. To me, match of the night. Like, they laid it all out on the line, and just great match.
It was between that match, and I'm not going to discount it, but it's between that and the actual War Games match itself for match of the night for me. Both matches were fantastic, but Velveteen Dream is on another level. He should be on the main roster. On a side note, they did announce that somebody from NXT will be getting a call up, as he will be making his appearance on the main roster.
A.K.A.
soon.
Lars Sullivan. Who, it's come out that he said that he apparently banged Ronda Rousey back in like 2005 or 2006.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. I don't know.
Especially because back in 2005, she was 18.
So was he.
Yeah,
So, hey, if it happened, good for him. If it didn't happen, he's a piece of shit for bringing it up.
I can't wait for him to be on the main roster so that fucking the Bucktooth Beaver can fuck up his fucking entrance, because that's what the Bucktooth Beaver does, because he's so occupied watching videos of dams being built than he is of actually what's going on inside the ring and on the way to the ring and all that shit. Because the man is just fucking god awful.
If you don't know who we are referring to, we are referring to Kevin Dunn, the guy who is in charge of production for WWE television.
Yes.
Yeah. He has a very pronounced front couple teeth.
He looks like a beaver.
And when they ask how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, he could answer the question. We have not asked him the question. He's not on Twitter.
I think he does it on purpose because he knows that people would just absolutely shit all over him.
And you only barely see him on even some of the network specials. I think he was on the AJ Styles 365, which was a pretty cool documentary. Check it out if you can. It's a decent look at, the last year of AJ Styles' life in about 55 minutes to an hour. Interesting to see kind of what he's gone through in the last year. Like, he literally tore his hamstring and continued to wrestle. Like, it wasn't like one of those tears where you can't move. But
you fuck with the hamstring, man. That's not.
I mean, literally. I mean, with the style of wrestling he does, it's very important that he's mobile and can do all the acrobatic stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like he's Brock Lesnar where he could just
beat the shit out of you.
I'm going to come into the ring, I'm going to suplex, and I'm going to suplex, and I'm going to suplex.
He's got to basically bounce from the mat to the top rope and hit the mat on the way down for his phenomenal forearm.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot of high flying moves because AJ Styles is kind of a.
He's phenomenal.
He's a high risk performer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's 215 pounds or so, and if you're going against somebody who's 280 pounds, you got to do some shit that's a little nuts to win. So, but it was interesting seeing the behind the scenes. Him talking about hey, I was in Chile one day and they called me up and said, hey, can you make it to Raw?
No, he had to make it to the pay-per-view, remember? That was when Bray Wyatt got the mononucleosis.
Right. Because of Roman Reigns.
Yeah, because of the whole...
The mumps or measles or whatever the fuck it was. But literally he basically went on a plane for almost a day so he could get up there.
And fight Finn Balor at, I think it was No Mercy or Tables, Ladders, and Chairs or...
And I think something like that, though, is the exact reason why Vince McMahon decided
to put the title back
the title on him and let him run with it for a long time. So it is, as much as I hate when guys AJ had just lost the U.S. title probably a few weeks before. Why are you putting the title back? A higher title
back on him, and I have no problem with that.
I don't like when they do that. They did that with Roman Reigns.
That situation, I have no problem with it because I think he deserved it. He has been one of their best performers. In fact, this past Sunday on Survivor Series was the first pay-per-view that AJ Styles wasn't a part of. That wasn't the Women's Evolution or a Raw specific pay-per-view since he made his debut
at the Royal Rumble
in 2016.
Yes, it was not the Curtis Axel.
That was not the 2015
Royal Rumble. So he is not. His record is not as stellar as that, but still pretty good.
I got a feeling he might end up being one of our Hall of Famers because I'm just a huge mark for AJ.
AJ's a GOAT.
AJ is a GOAT.
One thing though that I did dig about the 365 is they had a lot of TNA footage. And obviously, whatever deal that they worked out with Anthem Sports has allowed them access to that library.
Mm-hmm.
I dig the fact that they have that AJ Styles footage. I'm hoping beyond the AJ Styles footage, I hope they come out with, whether it's a Sting or a Kurt Angle thing or a Jeff Hardy thing, where they're able to use a lot of that footage.
Or Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Or Matt Morgan.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Connecticut's own.
Bobby Roode.
GOAT.
Eric Young.
Yeah. There's a lot of dudes who were in TNA that like had. I mean, to me, some of Kurt Angle's greatest matches were in TNA. Him against Samoa Joe, him against AJ Styles, him against Abyss. I mean, there are so many good matches that happened in TNA, but because it was TNA, people either didn't pay attention or like fuck TNA.
Unless you're like the brainless one who got one TNA pay-per-view and felt like he wasted $30 on the pay-per-view and said he'll never get another one again because Kobe Deaner wins the freaking knockout divisions championship.
Right.
But another name that has ties to TNA that a lot of people might not even know, unless you're like a really diehard wrestler, Xavier Woods.
The GOAT.
Who was Consequences Creed when he was in TNA.
And he was in a tag team with Jay Lethal called Lethal Consequences, where Jay Lethal was basically the Macho Man.
Yes, I remember.
They called him
Black Machismo.
Black Machismo. Yep. He was spot on. When he did Black Machismo, when he was Ric Flair,
when he did that Ric Flair bit, that was one.
Well, they did it a few times too.
Him and Flair. When him and Flair had that first woo off, was the hardest I've ever laughed at something that was wrestling related that wasn't WWE. It was fantastic because Flair.
Until you saw the Shockmaster.
Oh God, yes.
Because you saw the Shockmaster 20 years too late. 25 years too late.
As Cheech Marin once said in Ghostbusters 2. Well,
better late than never. He's a GOAT.
Yeah. So, Velveteen Dream and
Tommaso Ciampa had a fucking awesome match. Awesome match.
He tried the one thing about that. He tried that elbow drop on the outside on the.
It looked like he fucked himself up.
He fucked himself up. I mean, Ciampa did take the actual mat away. It hit straight fucking concrete because everybody thought he was going to hit him with the DDT out there.
Yeah.
Ciampa basically, threw him into the ring, dragged him between the ropes, and he DDT'd Velveteen Dream
onto the metal
that was connecting the two rings for the War Games match, and sweet dreams.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with Velveteen Dream. He doesn't always win these matches, but
he looks good.
Maximizes his minutes.
Yes.
He doesn't need to win to prop himself up.
Correct.
He's already propped up. Tommaso Ciampa, who was white hot like 3 months ago, he's still super fucking hot, and he's still putting out great matches. But to me, the Dream's the man. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. Becky Lynch is the man, but the Dream is killing it. Dream's killing it, man.
Dream is on Dream Street?
Yes.
He's Dream.
He's on Elm Street, man.
He's Freddy Krueger's nightmare.
Yes.
All right. So we also had the War Games match itself between the Undisputed Era and the team of the War Raiders, the Ricochet, and the GOAT himself, the Bruiser GOAT, Pete Dunne. My God.
I love the fact that, like, the heels here literally had all the Brainiac things go on, whether they were locking Pete Dunne in the cage with their locks so he couldn't get out, whether it was, like, when Adam Cole, baby, had baited them into going up to the top of the cage and were trying to throw Ricochet out because part of the stipulations was if you went out over the cage and hit the floor, your team lost. So they baited Ricochet up to the top of the cage and were trying to throw him out. They did all sorts of stuff like that, or
nefarious tactics.
Nefarious tactics. It was freaking brilliant. They did all these great things, and they did end up losing. But the match was, I mean,
it was fire.
I don't know if it was quite on the level of last year's, but it was freaking close. I mean, to me, it kind of reminded me of Undertaker Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25 and Undertaker Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 26. Nothing wrong with the WrestleMania 26 match. 25 was better. But not. It wasn't like you were like, that 26 match was terrible. No, the match of 26 was fucking awesome too. War Games 2 here, NXT style, fucking great.
Yes.
Fucking great. I would still say match of the night for me is Velveteen and Ciampa, but like this War Games match, I mean, it's like every performer that night was like, follow that. Whether it was Gargano and Black, whether it was Ciampa and Dream,
or if it was Matt Riddle and Dr. Denny's himself.
Yes, Moon's over my hammy.
Yes.
But like everything about like Takeover was just it's weird. Usually you would use a word like plateau as if it was a bad thing.
There you go. Fuck that.
They basically fucking plateaued with the
Wow.
Well, a lot of people actually are feeling that same way. Actually, that fuck WWE.
I'm only about fucking portions of WWE.
Yeah, like
Raw.
Alexa Bliss.
Right.
Charlie Caruso.
I would say most of Raw, except for Elias and Ronda Rousey, Paul Heyman,
Greg the Bunny. So
Seth Rollins, and
I like Seth Rollins.
Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose is getting me fully vested for Raw again.
Well, and one thing with this is I think they're finally, after me complaining for what, last month and a half of like, what, Renee Young doesn't know what the fuck is going on with her husband, they're finally actually putting that into the storyline. Fucking A.
Yeah.
They're fucking retarded.
They're listening to the effing marks, man.
Well, obviously. They watch us every week.
Of course they do. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't they? We tag them every week.
Right?
Right. So in the pre-show, they had the tag team Survivor Series match, which was a team of Raw of Rude and Gable.
So anyway, the War Raiders with Ricochet and Pete Dunne won.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. You're right.
They ended up winning the match. Like, there were so many great sequences in this match. Like, for me, my favorite part of this match was when, like, you had the Undisputed Era in one ring. And then you had the War Raiders, and you had Ricochet, and you had Pete Dunne in the other ring, and they just, it was like fucking old school battle from, like, fucking Braveheart, where, like, one side, and they just banged the shit out of each other, literally.
Yes.
And but in the end, you had the War Raiders and Pete Dunne and Ricochet winning the match.
No surprise.
Fucking great match.
That's why I picked them. Because I said, the Undisputed Era won last year. They won the inaugural War Games. I had a feeling. I knew it was going to be a good match. That was guaranteed.
Well, there are too many goats in the ring.
Oh, yeah. There was 8 of them.
Well, one thing I'll say about this is I don't know if Bobby Fish came back from his injury too early, but like he wasn't in the match that long, and he was already favoring that surgically repaired leg, and it wasn't like, part of the storyline. You could tell he was like,
well, I mean,
he was struggling with it. Eventually, like he ended up like. He kept going. Everything was fine, but you could tell he was hindered by that leg.
It's going to take some time for him to get back to where he was because Bobby Fish is not a young pup anymore. He's 37 years old. It's going to take him time to recover from an injury, and that is a significant injury especially with your knee. That is not something you want to injure, especially if you're a professional wrestler. It's going to take some time for him to get back in there. That was his first actual live show since he came back from his injury. So I'm not worried about it.
I hope he's all right. I hope he didn't come back too early and fuck himself up again. I don't think he did. I think we would have seen something.
Yeah, we would have heard something by now.
But there were definitely some questions. I mean, during the match, you could see like him visibly, like kind of like, but
dicks. I mean, that's
Anyway.
putrid. All right.
Anyway.
So, on to Survivor Series. So they did the Survivor Series tag team elimination matches on the pre-show, which I was pissed about. It was Gable and Rude and the Revival, and it was the Ascension, and it was the B Team, go, go, go.
And the Lucha House
and the
Party.
Lucha House Party, which is now a thing on Raw.
Ascension. Yeah.
I said the Ascension.
Right.
I never forget the Ascension. Going up against the team of the Usos.
The New Day.
Sanity.
Gallows Anderson.
Gallows and Anderson, and the guys who tried to sell you a timeshare in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
And no surprise, the SmackDown team won because they just have a much deeper and better roster for tag teams.
And spoiler alert, not that it's a big spoiler at this juncture, only match that the SmackDown won.
I'm going to get into that. I'm so going to get into that.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'm saving it.
Okay.
Then we had Styles and Nakamura, U.S. champion versus Intercontinental champion, in what I thought was the best match of the night. This was the match I was most excited for. This was the match that I think a lot of people...
Rollins?
What did I say?
Styles.
I'm sorry. Rollins and Nakamura. I'm super excited for that match. I think a lot of people were excited for that match. It was one of those like dream matches that a lot of people never thought they were going to see, and the two of them delivered a spectacular match. Rollins did go over on Nakamura. I had a feeling that was going to be the case anyway. I knew ultimately that the who was going to win that match.
You didn't think that.
I picked Rollins?
We both picked Nakamura.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. No surprise there, huh?
Well, I was...
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, well, I probably did terrible in Survivor Series because I actually picked...
Well, I think we both did pretty bad.
Terrible.
Yeah.
We also had the women's Survivor Series match, and Nia Jax got fucking booed out of the building. Bad.
As much as I understand business-wise and understand what WWE is doing with this match and making her the heel and making her use the legit fact that she sucks is something to promote her. This is my bad for the week. I understand that you're trying to capitalize on the fact that people fucking hate her and the fact that she sucks. And you're like, you know what? We could make a legit heel out of her. Well, you know what? If it's at the health of your performers eventually, no, that's not a fucking good idea.
Eventually,
Like the fact,
like
like if they wanted to have her in this match and have her get booed out of the building and have somebody beat the fuck out of her, fucking great. How loud was that fucking crowd every time somebody punched her? It was like when I saw fucking Rocky Balboa against Ivan Drago in the theaters 33 years ago. Every time Rocky did something against Drago, the fucking crowd in the theater went fucking ballistic. That's what they were like in this match. They wanted people to beat the shit out of Nia Jax. If they did a unprotected chair shot, I think the crowd would have been fine with it. I don't think they would have been fine with a cinder block to the fucking head, but they would have been absolutely fucking fine with the fact that Nia Jax got beat the fuck out of. But they're just trying to use this to build the storyline. I hope nobody gets hurt from Nia Jax from now on. And I hope Vince McMahon went up to her and said, like, calm the fuck down. You suck, but, like, you don't need to be reckless. Mm-hmm. So hopefully she gets that message. Hopefully it works out. I think it's stupid, and that's why this is my bad for the week.
We've touched base on a few things that are going to be my bad. They're all going to be into one thing for bad. She got booed, and I remember how there was actually a sign. I don't remember if it was for Survivor Series or Monday Night Raw, This week is just kind of like been a fucking blur for me.
Thanks, Mrs. Brainless.
Yeah, right. It was a sign that says, "No, Nia, we're not booing you because you're good at what you do. We're booing you because you're terrible in the ring."
That boy is good.
Mm-hmm. Good and terrible.
And I hate the fact that she was the sole survivor for Team Raw in that match.
It's just like her winning that Battle Royal, which I mean, I predicted, but like now I'm like going, no,
Mm-hmm.
don't let her have that title match, and she's gonna have that title match against Ronda Rousey at some point.
And I hope Ronda Rousey breaks her jaw.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome.
So, yeah, that's my bad for this week. That fucking Nia Jax, sole survivor, in the fact that like they're using this to push her.
We also had a cruiserweight match between the champion Buddy Murphy defending against Mustafa Ali. Solid match. Buddy Murphy has been fantastic since he got moved to the 205 and
He requested it.
Yeah. Mustafa Ali, a tremendous in-ring performer. I had a feeling he was. I always thought that he was one of those guys that deserved to be in the main event picture. He did fight for the cruiserweight title at WrestleMania against Cedric Alexander, and he's getting those chances. He's going to eventually win the title at some point. I have a really good sneaking suspicion that he's going to. I'm really happy that he's getting this opportunity now. So, unfortunately, Bud Murphy. I mean, you know, obviously with booking wise, because Buddy Murphy's the heel and, you know, Mustafa Ali is the face. Unfortunately, Buddy Murphy ended up going over. I have no problem with him.
Well,
honestly,
we picked him.
I have no problem with Buddy Murphy being the cruiserweight champion. He's a really good character. He's a really good in-ring performer, and
He banged Alexa Bliss.
Yes, he banged Alexa Bliss.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. Also, we had the Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey go up against
Charlotte Flair.
Honestly, the match was awesome.
For me, match of the night. I appreciated the fucking brutality. Like, this was not like one of those, like, it was not ballet.
Yes.
They beat the fuck out of each other. Ronda had a lot of fucking welts from the kendo sticks, chairs, and whatever else Charlotte unleashed on her. I think WWE, with that beating, was expecting Ronda to get this, like, super
Cheer.
face cheer and, like, people to boo the hell out of Charlotte. And this was one of those things where they didn't understand the audience. And Bully Ray, I think, or Bubba Ray, whatever you prefer, I think kind of said it right, or had the feeling right, was when Becky Lynch hugged and gave Charlotte the, like, yeah, this is my girl. That is what made people cheer for Charlotte.
Yeah.
So
the fact that WWE thought that Ronda was going to get some sympathy cheers and everything, and Charlotte was going to get booed.
You make sure you hit it a few seconds.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Yeah. Definitely it felt like the crowd did not react
The way that they wanted to.
that they wanted them to, and
So,
even so, I think it's going to all work out in the end. And honestly, for me, I'm way looking forward to another match with Ronda and Charlotte, because it was fucking awesome. That is my good for this week. I fucking love this
that's
match.
fantastic, because you know why? That's my bad for this week.
All right.
That's my bad for this week. It's a combination of the Women's Survivor Series match and then the Ronda Charlotte match is a combination for my bad for this week.
All right.
It was bad because of the fact that, you know, they kind of pushed Nia Jax to be the sole survivor after what she did to Becky Lynch. It's like, You had a chance to punish her for the fact that she was careless and reckless in the ring, and she caused you to switch it so that it was Charlotte versus Ronda instead of Becky versus Ronda. So you didn't take her out of the match as a form of punishment. And not only did you not take her out of the match, you made her the sole survivor. You pushed her
for being fucking reckless and terrible. For being The Rock's cousin.
For being The Rock's cousin. I already had my meltdown about Nia Jax last week.
It's done okay on YouTube.
I know. I actually played it for Corey today. He fucking loved this shit. He was like, "That's fucking great." And I was like, he's like, "I hope you hit my points." And he's like, "Yep, that was right." I was like, "Yeah, no shit." I'm like, "I know what I'm talking about." I might be a brainless dumbass, but you know what? I know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to wrestling and food.
Yes.
But that one really fucking irked me because of the fact that they booked her the way that they did. But not as much as it pissed me off with this whole fucking Charlotte thing. It really pissed me off that Charlotte became like this badass and fucking snapped and tried to take out Ronda with the fucking kendo stick and the fucking chairs. It's like, I felt that WWE saw what was happening with Becky Lynch, the way that Becky was, and it was like, Becky is more over than Charlotte Flair right now, and we can't have that. We need Charlotte to be the ultimate bad bitch on SmackDown. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to take this fact that this wave that Becky Lynch has been riding, and she fucking got taken out by a fucking whale, and we're going to just put Charlotte on the surfboard and have her ride this wave out.
Moby Dick.
She is fucking Moby Dick. She's like a sperm whale because she's the biggest whale in the fucking ocean. And
do you think her and Dr. Denny's would be a good couple?
No. Dr. Denny's is with Rachel Ellering.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's big enough to have two women.
Yes. Pizza the Hut.
And that's what it felt like to me, is that they were taking what happened to Becky and just like, well, we can't have that. We need Charlotte to be the number one woman in all of WWE. So you know what? Fuck this. We're going to make Charlotte the one that's really the badass now. And it's so fucking stupid. I hated the fact that Becky fucking hugged her in the ring. I'm like, you two hated each other, were beating the shit out of each other, and it's like, oh, I'm going to pick Charlotte to be my replacement. She hugged her. I'm like, oh, God, no. So that was my bad for this week.
All right.
I got
see my bad. Like I said, it was my good specifically because the match was fucking awesome.
Oh, the match was awesome. I hated the fact that
I don't like the booking aspect.
That's how
I do like the fact though that it made Charlotte look more badass because for the most part she's this athletic gymnast. Mm-hmm. Where finally she looked like she could beat the fuck out of somebody. Like, this match was not what I would call a scientific masterpiece, mm-hmm. but it looked like a battle. Mm-hmm. It looked like a brawl. It looked like, two people trying to beat the fuck out of each other. And that's why I liked it. That's why I loved it. But booking-wise, I understand what you're saying, where you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, like they had this blood feud with Charlotte and Becky. You're not going to, hug and make up after saying I hate you. You were my best friend, but go fucking suck a dick.
Yeah. Also, we had the Authors of Pain going up against the Bar for
Autism
in the Pain. Yeah. Basically, it was the Raw Tag Team Champions. It was the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Very short match. I was actually excited because I thought they were going to give these two more time. They could have done so much more with this.
Yes.
We did get Drake Maverick, the manager of the Authors of Pain, to pee himself on national television.
I believe that was Vince McMahon.
I was about to say, I think that was the first time since Vince peed himself when Steve Austin had a gun to his head on Raw, and it said bang when he pulled the trigger.
What?
And then the Authors of Pain caught it because the Bar was distracted by the Big Show actually grabbing Drake Maverick the way they did. The Authors of Pain capitalized on it, ended up winning the match.
What?
Winning the match.
What?
Winning the match.
What?
Authors of Pain win.
What?
Authors of Pain win.
Yeah, the Authors of Pain here, I love them. I don't like the way they've been booked, where like they had a 2-on-1 match to win the titles, and then have to use gimmicky stuff to win other stuff. And was it during this match that the shitbag came out and did his thing?
Yes, it
to
was during
promote
this.
his
I forgot
his
about
fucking
that.
show and his fucking shit album apparently.
So-
and now he's been fucking banned from everything in the Forum or whatever the fuck is Staples Center and everything WWE from now on.
So Enzo Amore snuck into the arena. He wore a disguise, and kind of sat near the front row. And during the match, he took off his disguise and started doing his shtick that he used to do. I'm Enzo Amore. I'm a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And he was cutting that shtick. And Staples Center and WWE security came over and squashed that more than Nia Jax squashes.
Did they squash that more than
King Kong Bundy and Little Beaver? Yes,
Yes.
that's what it was. Security squashed Enzo Amore like it was King Kong Bundy in the ring with Little Beaver. And I thought that was just fucking stupid. Now he's banned from the Staples Center. Now he's banned from all WWE shows, which means he's never coming back to WWE. Not that I ever thought.
I don't think anybody ever thought that. I mean, human piece of garbage.
And he had a 900-seat arena that he was actually going to do a show in, and 35 people showed up at, which is kind of like the equivalent of going to a Hartford Whalers game. Hartford Whalers home game at the XL Center. That was formerly known as the Civic Center in Hartford.
It's called the Mall.
Whatever. Nobody went to
Wrong.
Whalers games.
Wrong.
Nobody went to Whalers games.
Wrong.
So
I went to Whalers games.
I went to one.
I may even go to a Whalers game next month.
There you go. Go for it. So that was actually the highlight of it, other than Drake Maverick peeing himself.
Right.
Enzo Amore getting thrown out of the building, and then Eric Arndt is not allowed in these premises, and there's his picture all over the fucking place. And he was like, look at that, the publicity. And then he was trying to play it off that the reason he got banned from the arena is because he was vaping.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. That was the story of him getting kicked off the flight. Or
No, that was the other thing, was that he said that I guess you're not allowed to vape inside the Staples Center. He tweeted that. What a dumb fuck. I used to like that guy too. He was rather
his shtick was entertaining, and it was funny when he responded to us like when I was like, "You're teaching a bunch of kids how to spell soft wrong."
Yeah.
And he responded, and it's like, "Hey, all right, cool, you responded, all right."
Let's see, what else did we have?
So beyond that, we had the Raw team versus the SmackDown team: Braun, Dolph, Drew, Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley versus Miz, Shane, Ray, Samoa Joe, and Matt Hardy. Yeah, Jeff Hardy.
You said Matt Hardy and I said Jeff Hardy.
Right.
We're both fucking on point with that one, huh?
Yes.
Not the most technical match. I was actually rather disappointed with how that match went. Shane McMahon was actually, in my opinion, the MVP of the actual match, because he went through the table to take out Braun Strowman. He did coast to coast. I know he hit. I want to say he hit. Shoot. I think
Leo Rush.
I know he hit freaking Dolph Ziggler with coast to coast. I think he was trying to hit Bobby Lashley, and Braun Strowman came in and clotheslined him, and that's how Shane got basically eliminated. And no, he didn't get eliminated from that. I'm sorry. It was basically everybody was left. I'm sorry. I'm just.
What?
So
Anyway, Shane did a great job.
Shane was MVP of that match. Shane was the last person on his team, and it was against him. It was him and Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. And it's like the cards are stacked against Shane. There's no way this is gonna end any way that we want. And at that point, that's when I was starting to do it, and I'm like, motherfucker. So when Braun Strowman beat Shane McMahon, and Raw took a commanding lead, that is what ultimately led me to what my brainless for the week is.
Your brainless is not the dude with the fucking cinder block.
It's not the dude with the cinder block. I mean, that's fucking terrible, but it's I can't. My
Is that
brainless,
beyond brainless?
My brainless has been something that's been brainless on more than one occasion, and that's fucking WWE booking. I had a serious problem with WWE booking this week. And the best way to... So basically, WWE said that Raw was a clean sweep against SmackDown. Number one, I hate the fact that Raw won Survivor Series this year. I'm sick and tired of them calling it the flagship show. I'm sick and tired of it called the A show. I'm sick and tired of the fact that they fucking jerked this thing off like Vince McMahon was doing to Roman Reigns before he got leukemia. I am so sick and tired of the fact that they think that Raw, which is the shittier show, is better than SmackDown, which is actually a really, really, really good show. That was that was one thing. Another thing was the fact that they were claiming that it was a clean sweep when clearly, on the pre-show, the SmackDown tag team won their match against the Raw tag team, and Xavier Woods even came out and he's like, how is it a clean sweep when we won our match?
Another thing WWE fucked up
was
the Ronda Rousey Charlotte match where they said champion versus champion. Becky Lynch chimes in, what?
So basically,
the fucking man was not in the match.
Now you have to get into Soul Survivor. The fact that they basically discounted everything that the tag team Survivor
the pre-show match.
The pre-show. The fact that Raw was a clean sweep. The fact that Charlotte was basically given the Becky Lynch push that Becky lost because Nia Jax is a horrible in-ring performer. Just everything that they did to book that, just the way that they booked it, really, really fucking pissed me off. And I would like to have, believe me, I would have loved to have said that the guy with the cinder block was my brainless this week. That's a fucking terrible. That's a terrible travesty. Believe me when I say it, it's a terrible travesty. But I'm sorry, I've been stewing on this for almost a week now, pretty much almost a week now. I can't let that go. I need to bring it up. So that is why WWE booking for this week is my brainless, because it was completely fucking brainless.
All right.
And that leads to Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan.
I kind of dug the story that they told in this match, where Brock was just absolutely brutalizing Daniel. Looked like he didn't have a freaking chance in hell of winning, and then kind of sneaks up on Brock and comes within an eyelash of beating him. I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. I like the idea that Brock, who is supposed to be the badass, who's supposed to be the UFC dude who beats the fuck out of people, was kind of toying around with Bryan, and before he knew it, toying around with fucking Bryan turned into something where it became serious because Bryan putting him in, the yes lock. And they referred to it as the yes lock because Bryan ended up, after getting beat the fuck out of, despite the fact that he's a heel now, was acting as face in this match.
Yep.
And I thought it was a cool match. Not my favorite of the card. Again, Charlotte and Ronda was my favorite on the card as far as matches go. They had a very solid match. They told a good story.
Yep, I agree.
I don't know how. Well, they're on separate brands. They're separate champions. So we'll see where this goes. Beyond this, with Becca, Ronda and Charlotte, supposedly they actually want to continue that. So I'm wondering what they'll do to figure out a way to get that going. I don't know if they're going to just go, oh, well, it's the Royal Rumble and it's a cross-brand thing, so we're going to have them fight again.
Unless Charlotte wins the Royal Rumble and she challenges Ronda Rousey for the title of WrestleMania.
It could be something like
and
that.
And then she fucking beats Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship after she ended Asuka's undefeated streak.
I would prefer
people would be fucking throwing poop in the ring because fuck you.
I would prefer to see Becky Lynch against Ronda at WrestleMania, and supposedly that's penciled in. Speaking of WrestleMania, speaking of Brock Lesnar, one of the things that they have kind of penciled in is Seth Rollins, Burn It Down versus Brock Lesnar.
It was announced at Survivor Series that Seth Rollins will be defending his Intercontinental
At
Championship
TLC?
against Dean Ambrose at the TLC pay-per-view. Dean Ambrose, who had a solid run as Intercontinental Champion when he was on SmackDown Live, is probably going to end up going over because he is getting red hot right now, and he has done an excellent job with this whole heel turn that he has done. So we'll see where it goes with that. Also, AJ Styles announced that he's going to invoke his rematch clause also at the TLC pay-per-view. So he'll be going up against Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship.
So what kind of match do you want to see them in?
TLC.
All right. I think they're just going to be in a straight ladder match, but
I think they're just going to end up being in a regular match.
as long as it's not a fucking stairs match. Even though I think the two of them would make a stairs match entertaining.
I don't think Daniel Bryan can lift the stairs over his head.
Yes, he can.
Well, we'll see about that.
I mean, we obviously know Eric Rowan and the Big Show can.
Well, Eric Rowan had a hard time lifting up the stairs because he was trying to pick the wedgie out of his ass.
Right. Probably did both pretty well.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we had Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar. Good match.
Yeah.
Good match. It was not like, it wasn't a typical match, and that's what I liked about it. So.
Okay. I think we touched base on everything.
Yeah, most everything.
I mean, we talked about news and notes in professional wrestling, whether it was WWE or not.
Yeah.
We talked about NXT
Did we
TakeOver.
hit your good? What was your good for the week?
Cassius Ohno versus
The GOAT.
Matt Riddle.
The GOAT
was
against
so
Dr.
long ago.
Denny's.
It was so long ago you forgot what my good was.
Yes.
So my good this week was Dr. Denny's versus Matt Riddle. My bad for this week was the way that they've booked both women's matches at the Survivor Series, and my brainless was WWE booking altogether for Survivor Series. Just to recap that, so that
Yes.
recap yours, please.
My good was Charlotte versus Ronda. My bad was Nia Jax booking specifically, and my brainless was Captain Cinderblock, Demonio. Come back.
I know, I'm sorry.
But anyway, that was my brainless for the week.
So
Interesting week.
Yes.
Interesting week when it came to wrestling.
Yes. So we did our good, the bad, and the brainless.
Yes.
Talked about Survivor Series.
Yes.
Talked about NXT TakeOver.
Yes.
My God for the well is Hornswoggle being in the Royal Rumble longer than less than perfect. My good for the week.
Wrong.
So I guess what Tommy's trying to say, he was trying to correct himself, but I'm going to correct Tommy for him, is I'm going to say that today,
On this day, November the 25th.
November 25th, for an astonishing 1,399 days, former Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champion, and Epic Marks Hall of Famer Curtis Axel is still alive in the 2015 Royal Rumble.
Right. Yeah.
So when we get to the 2019 Royal Rumble and we do our prediction show for that, we're not even going to say 1,400, 500, whatever the fuck it is, days. We're just going to say 4 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is the end of
Episode 107, baby.
of the F and Marks podcast. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter,
And Periscope.
follow us on Periscope, follow us on Instagram, and like us on the
YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. If
And-
you subscribe, we will subscribe back or like you or follow you.
at
Yeah.
the THE, the letter F, the letter N, MARKS. So like we said for episode 107 of the F and Marks,
I'm Jay.
took a minute there. I'm Brainless Bob. Make sure you mark out.
With your guac out. See you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in.
We'll see you next week.
Fuck Nia Jax.
Gross.
Not like that kind of fucker.